2018 at the 4th Judicial Court in Spanish Fork, Utah. A judge is presiding over arraignments. This is when a defendant appears in court to hear the charges against them, plead guilty or not guilty. Off to the side, Christopher Clay Rudd is awaiting his turn. Rudd's in court for failing to follow through on court-ordered drug treatment. He's restrained with handcuffs, but has no shackles on his legs. The courtroom has a bailiff and several officers. A lawyer heads over to speak with the bailiff, and then exits the court with two officers. At the same time, another officer heads out of the courtroom. A woman from the gallery has walked up and is now speaking to the bailiff. None of this goes unnoticed. A warning here. What you're about to see is disturbing. Rudd just fell 18 feet onto a solid marble floor, the equivalent of jumping headfirst out a second-story window, in handcuffs. Take a look from the security camera in the front lobby. This bailiff instinctively tries to catch the defendant, just missing him. Imagine trying to catch a 160-pound sack dropped from an 18-foot height. That could be deadly. Rudd is bleeding from his head, but seems responsive. Back in the courtroom, the judge keeps everything under control. Paramedics arrive minutes later and rush him to a nearby hospital. He has a broken leg and pelvis and a fractured skull. For this escape attempt, Christopher Clay Rudd is sentenced to 36 months probation. And from that hard lesson, we move on to number 9. An attorney pushes a Florida judge and then keeps pushing. Now to the Moore Justice Center in Brevard County, Florida.
2 charges, assault and resisting. You have the public
Defender Andrew Weinstock and his client are appearing before Judge John Murphy, whose voice you hear.
Public defender, what do you want to do?
But they fought.
They have.
I'm not waiting.
All right, what do you want to do?
What do you want to do? I'm not waiting. Want to set it for trial? Set it for trial.
Judge Murphy wants the defendant to waive his right to a speedy trial because the court's schedule's backed up. Weinstock isn't budging, and tensions are mounting.
If I had a rock, I would throw it at you right now. Stop pissing me off. Just sit down. I'll take care of it. I don't need your help.
Now, you know what? I'm a public defender. I have a right to be here, and I have a right to
I
stand
said sit down. If you want to fight, let's go out back and I'll just beat your ass.
They both head to the hallway behind the courtroom, just out of the view of the court's cameras. Believe it or not, they get into a physical altercation until Judge Murphy returns to the courtroom alone.
I will catch my breath eventually. Man, I'm an old man.
Once Judge Murphy catches his breath, he continues with the rest of the hearings without Weinstock present.
Your choices, considering there's probably going to be a changeover in personnel, are setting it for trial June 9th, or if you were wanting to waive speedy, we would set it for July 15th.
I would like to get it done as fast as possible.
That doesn't help me.
The incident's investigated by the Florida Judicial Qualifications Commission, who charged Judge John Murphy with threatening to commit violence against an assistant public defender, engaging in a physical altercation with counsel, and resuming his docket while defendants were without counsel. The case eventually reaches the Florida Supreme Court, which orders the immediate suspension and permanent removal of Judge Murphy from his post. Okay, now let's head to the Wadsworth Municipal Courthouse in Ohio. Judge Stephen McIlvaine is sentencing 29-year-old Jeremy Vance for receiving stolen property. During his sentencing, Vance is not handcuffed, and there's no armed bailiff in the courtroom during this hearing.
Really relieved to try to do this all behind.
Vance is now supposed to return to a holding cell, but he decides to go another route. It might seem like the bailiff is acting a little casually here, considering the circumstances, but the court knows everything about Vance due to his criminal record, his address, his phone number, who he hangs out with, everything. And within an hour, he's apprehended near his home and returned to custody, with an additional 6 months of prison time added to his sentence. And there may be another reason they decided not to immediately pursue Vance, having to do with a similar event that happened in the same courtroom just 6 months earlier.
I'm sorry for, accidents you're on the road. I understand that, being on the road, you could have other people's lives that you're here. And, I should have thought about that.
When defendant Cyrus Matthews was there on misdemeanor charges stemming from a road rage case.
As well as there like any way that we can reverse this jail time.
Well, we're going to do the jail. We need to get out and hearing consider it for those. Okay, right now we're going to do the jail. We have to go to the jail. Go on, please. Now in charge of escape, felony escape, and get back to this court.
Matthews' girlfriend follows him out. There seems to be a moment of hesitation here on Matthews' part. We now know it's the bailiff trying to reason with him, explaining that his escape will lead to felony charges. To no avail. Now, the Wadsworth police take over. Matthews is way ahead, reaching speeds of up to 90 miles an hour. Defendant Cyrus Matthews has just run out of court, gotten into his car with his girlfriend, and fled. Now police are in pursuit. Officer James Walzer is receiving updates.
Yeah, he's not. He's running red lights in Hartman, passing on the right at Williams Reserve. His speed's 90, trying to catch up. Boys, I think we're gonna have a code 2. We're gonna have a code 2 at Akron.
Matthews has crashed into a white SUV, seen just off the road there.
Where's he at?
That's Matthews' car there.
We got multiple vehicles, airbag deployment. Damn, are you okay? Okay.
The passengers are a couple and their infant child.
He's okay. All right, we got squads coming.
Thankfully, they have non-life-threatening injuries.
Ashley, help them get out. Help them get out. He's up here.
Officer Walzer hustles over towards Matthews' car across the road. Matthews and his girlfriend are extracted by the Wadsworth Police Department
Dumbass.
and taken to the hospital. Matthews is charged with aggravated felonious assault for injuring his girlfriend and the occupants of the other vehicle. He's sentenced to 425 days in jail. His girlfriend is not charged. This is a bond hearing at the Miami-Dade Circuit Court in Florida, where Judge Jorge Rodriguez Shomat attends to the next defendant, who's charged with possession of drugs.
Morgan Souza, you're being charged with possession of Xanax and BARS. I don't know what that is. What is that?
Xanax bars. That's how they refer to them.
Xanax bars. All right.
So, are you working?
Yes,
How much money you make a week approximately?
approximately about $200 a week.
Okay, and you own any property value, a house, a car, bank account, significant amounts of jewelry?
Yes,
What do you own?
I own a lot of jewelry already, as well as
Go
a
ahead.
car.
How much would you say your jewelry is worth? It's not a joke, you know. We're not in a club now.
Okay, but if you don't get it, you know, but
We are not in a club. Be serious about it.
I'm serious about
We
it.
are
You just made me
I
laugh.
see you're serious, all right.
You just made me laugh. I apologize.
It's all right. How much is your jewelry worth?
It's worth a lot of money.
Like what?
Like Rick Ross.
Huh?
It's worth
Ma'am,
money.
have you had any kind of drugs in the last 24 hours?
Actually, no.
Actually, no.
Judge, I'll make it easy for the court, respectfully. I was go ahead at this
I
time.
know I'm going to appoint you because you own a lot of money, substantial amounts of jewelry. You can go and sell your jewelry for a private attorney. What is the standard bond?
It could be,
It's going to be no BTS.
okay, 5,000 on count one, and then the rest should be ROR.
The judge is now determining the amount of Soto's bond.
Count one would be 5,000 for our cost found. Count two would be ROR.
Decision requesting ROR on count 2 through 26.
And refer to Division 51. Bye-bye.
Adios.
Come back, man. Come back. Come back. Let me take her again. Count one would be 10,000.
Are you serious?
I am serious. Adios.
You can hear the reaction of others in the court. Soto just cursed at the judge and then gave him the finger.
Come back again. Come back again. Bring him back again. I believe I heard you say to.
Yes, I did. I'm not going to do
I believe you. Did you say?
Yes,
Did you say that?
yes, sir, I
Oh,
did.
you did say that?
I'm not
I
gonna
find you
do
direct criminal contempt. 30 days in the county jail.
Soto sentenced to 30 days in the county jail. Her bail's reduced to $5,000 2 days later, and the sentence revoked 4 days later when she apologizes to the judge.
My behavior was very irrational, and I apologize not only to the court and you, but to my family.
Don't cry. Just don't cry. I'm not a monster. I know I make you laugh, but it's all right. Don't cry. I'm not a monster. Go ahead, tell me.
And I normally don't act like that. So,
Let me ask you a quick question. Did you use Xanax? Did you take any Xanax Sunday?
yes, I did.
How many?
2.
Two?
A year after that, her drug charges are dropped when she successfully completes a court-ordered drug program.